Okay, so I don't know who needs to hear this. This is a message that was just given to me, and I just want to share it with others. But when God told you to do the thing, and again, if this is a message for you, you'll know what thing he told you to do. For me, it was starting a business, and it was embedding a lot of conscious leadership and practices and principles into my business. But back to the main thing. When God told you to do the thing, he didn't say, oh, do the thing until they don't like it no more. Or do the thing, but stop if it makes them uncomfortable. Or do the thing, but you might want to shrink a little bit when they start to push back. No, he told me, he's like, do the thing. And for me, this came from an experience I had as part of a program that I'm a part of. And I made a point about the difference between thoughts that come from a place of anxiety versus thoughts that come from a stable place. And even those, these days we say a lot of my truth, this is my truth, this is my truth, and my truth is valid. And those things are accurate. But it's also accurate that your truth is not always the truth, especially if your truth is coming from a place of anxiety or elsewhere, right? It just goes back to the saying of don't believe everything your mind tells you. Sometimes you might think that person didn't text you back because they don't like you, but they could have been caught up, right? And so it's just understanding that you are able to have your truth, and sometimes your truth might be impacted by trauma, and sometimes your truth might not be the truth. But anyways, I suggested this, and some people were not happy about the suggestion. And in that moment, my knee-jerk reaction was to kind of shrink and silence myself and not participate in the conversation anymore. And it was just like, I literally heard God say, I told you to do the thing, though. I told you to do the thing. I didn't say do the thing, but stop when they get uncomfortable. I didn't say do the thing, but pause when they don't like what you're saying anymore. I didn't say do the thing, but turn around when they don't want to hear you no more. I said do the thing. I gave you the provision to do the thing. I gave you the steps, the signs, the people that you needed. I gave you the provision, and I told you to do the thing. There were no ifs, there were no stipulations about, well, do the thing, but then stop doing the thing, if they tell you that they don't like it no more. No, I told you to do the thing. And for some of you, God has put something in your heart to do, but you're basing it on, oh, well, the thing that God told me to do is making people uncomfortable. Well, maybe God planned that on purpose. Maybe the plan was for you to do the thing and to stir up a level of discomfort in folks, because there's no real growth that comes from always staying in our comfort zones. So maybe sometimes, people are going to feel uncomfortable about what you're saying or what you're proposing or what you're doing. And it's not always going to be a pleasant experience. But God is saying, I didn't tell you to do the thing to only please the people. I didn't tell you to do the thing to only and always please them. Sometimes when you are doing the work to serve people, even in your service, they're not going to like it. If someone has always believed, I will never be able to be happy, and in your service, you're showing them ways that they could be, maybe they're going to be upset with you at first because you are flipping everything that they have chosen to believe on their head. That's just a very basic example, but there are other, examples that might be more relative to what you're doing. There's a reality outside of what your anxiety tells you. For somebody who has been living in the belief system of, well, I am what I've gone through. All I can be is my trauma. For you to tell them no, you don't have to be locked into the confines of what you've gone through. You don't have to be bound by what your anxiety tells you. It's not saying that you'll never experience anxiety. It's not saying that if you do experience anxiety, that something is wrong with you. None of the above. But what it is saying is that you are not confined to what your anxiety says. And what your anxiety says is not always the truth. So for a lot of people, what I'm learning is for a lot of people, that's going to sting. It's going to cause a level of discomfort. But for some people, it's also going to be extremely freeing. It's going to be liberating, because then they're going to be they're going to feel empowered to live their lives in a way that is not confined by what they thought was keeping them bound. Right? So it's like sometimes the work you're doing is freeing people and they won't like it. So again, that's where I heard God's voice. I told you to do the thing. I told you to do the thing. I didn't tell you do the thing, but stop when they get an attitude. Do the thing, but stop when they stop applauding. Do the thing, but stop when the claps stop. If I told you to only do it when they're clapping, then like, what was the point of me telling you to do it? What was the point of you telling me to do of God telling me to do it? If I feel like I'm doing something that is kingdom work, then that means I'm supposed to be doing something to please the kingdom, not to please other people. Because just like I'm flawed, other people are flawed. Just like I experience emotional up, down, here, there, just other people do as well. So, yeah, that's all I really want to say. It's like, if God told you to do a thing, if he has given you an assignment, just be obedient and do the thing. And when you win, not if, when you face obstacles, when, not if you face pushback, when, not if you face people not liking it, people stopping their applause and their claps, people pushing back, like whatever, that doesn't mean you stop. That doesn't mean you stop, because he didn't tell you to do it to do it only if this don't happen, or to do it but stop when that happened. He told you to do the thing, because somebody's breakthrough might be tied to what you're doing. And if you let somebody get in their feelings, or if you let somebody getting toughy about it stop you, then the breakthrough doesn't happen, whether it's somebody else's breakthrough or your own. So it's just like, we have to remember that when we are given a heavenly assignment, it is so much bigger than us. It is so much bigger than us. Because in that moment, I was just like, well, I just need to stop talking. Like, what I said is upset people. Like, they don't like what I said. Like, let me just kind of, let me go off camera. Like, no. I heard it clear as day. This is bigger than you. This is bigger than you. And so what I told you to do, I told you to do it. So if he told you to do it, then your assignment is to do it. That's it.